Minchuche Polone some Sanjin Kunjingo and Yaran Jugong on the Mazavella Majalas one day, Lama Sanjela Major Lama Gunjan, Kunjis Polama Lama Namla Chanza, Lo Mandela Manamanda Valagaza, Lodamiji Jelva to Mukuchela Messanas and Jupiter. Sanji Kunjin, she's on Yamay donation that could on Bachipamadon so one day. Chitachi, she thought made Kowa don't know about you and your children, Majana, so and the Catalans and Bruno number of the Janang Mission, the Mental and the Yaton to Taya Chalaso. Chingo Kodan Sojan Dojin and Joga, was the Mego Jimba and Jijo, which imitation children with Shalo, so one day. Lama Sanjela Majo, the gentleman, the Kunjis, Lama, Lama, Namla, Chansa, like it, and Ludan Jinga to one that I make, and the door, Kunjidam Jizaba. Tam Jengendo, Dagin, Chund, and Lord Chosen to Vasangelo, Chalambo, Vasangelo, to Vasangelo. Tunang is on Java, Zengelo, Sudan Java, Kunji, the balance of Western Japan, Japanese, the Busso, and the trash into a gun drova, Zengelo. So, respectfully, putting in front all my humble respects to all venerable the Lama, the nun, and the senior disciples, Dharma sisters, Dharma brothers, and everybody, and to everybody who is partaking in the Zoom teaching. I have to say one thing, if you don't mind, if the cameraman can just stop for a few minutes, because it's a little bit distracting for me. I'm so sorry. You do not realize that I get anxieties when you take picture of my face. Yes. Okay, thank you so much. That was great. God bless you. So, as you all know, today I was, of course, as always, Kanying Dhamma Center, connected very strongly to my late father, Tsikechonli Rinpoche, my uncle, Chujnyama Rinpoche, my brother, Pancho Rinpoche, and so forth. And of course, connected to Tuku Ujin Rinpoche, my grandfather, and Sonyi Rinpoche, Minju Rinpoche, all the sons of Tuku Ujin Rinpoche also. And very strongly, Momo told me many times to come here and to visit and give teaching, and all our beloved Sangha members of Malaysia Center also mentioned for me to come in this time and to give a short teaching. So of course I was very, at first, a little bit reluctant to accept, because I felt a little bit shy in some sense. My character, I am a very shy person, because I am very careful, especially when it's come to the topic of Dharma teaching, explaining, as they say in the Sanskrit, Dhamma, the teaching of the Buddha Gautama. So I am very careful with such things, because I do not want it to be devalued. I do not want misunderstandings in the Buddhism. I do not want people to feel like that I come here and I'm some great master and that will propagate all of you some great teachings and all of that, you know. And I do not wish to mislead people also. So I am very careful with these things, this matter. But I was happy to take upon the opportunity to come here and to share about, especially today, I believe the topic is explaining the meaning of rituals, pujas, and also Vajrayana in these modern times. In one way, everybody here gathered will kind of, in some sense, perceive oneself as a Buddhist. We all like to call ourselves the Buddhist, proudly. But we don't necessarily understand what that means, Buddhist. We think, wear the mala on your hand and bow in front of monks and lamas, rinpoches, so make the offering, go to see the temple, chant some mantras and so forth, is enough to be a Buddhist. So what I would like to explain here today very precisely is that the meaning of Buddhism, or a Buddhist, as we call ourselves as, is actually you are representing the three jewel itself, the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. You are representing the three jewel itself, very predominantly. So it's not a simple matter. Also, when you associate yourself as a Buddhist, you are also saying, I myself as a human, I represent a person who is willing to partake in the path of nurturing oneself to be a better person, genuine person, a person who dedicate themselves to be at the best version of themselves. Also a person who would take an promise, a willing promise, to make sure that you yourself personally say whatever you conduct verbally, physically, mentally, will always be assured to be beneficial to yourself and to be not harmful to anybody else. And most importantly, you are also representing that you are a person who is willingly dealing with your mind head on without avoiding it. So I must tell you, when you represent yourself as a Buddhist, when you call yourself as a Buddhist, please understand what you are saying, understand what you are representing, understand what you mean by that. Okay? It's very important. I'm sure many of you are well aware of it. I'm just humbly, reminding you, yeah? Also, one thing very important. I know in our Asian culture, as I am Asian myself, okay? All of us Asians, we have found a very good way to excuse ourselves not to practice Dharma so much, We like to maneuver out of it. We like to maneuver out of all the personal, practices, personal homeworks, so to speak, to practice the Dharma properly. You see, in our Asian culture, we always like to say, I am Buddhist. Why? Because I go to the temple, I make offering, I put the jaw stick and offer, as if like the Buddha can't get enough scent and perfume. Yeah? So the Buddha can't get enough water. Buddha, please drink the water I'm offering you. So the most funniest thing is, I find this so epic. I look at our fellow Tibetans, the Chinese, and all of you, it's so funny. You go to the temple, you go to in front of the lamas and monks and nuns and whoever, you make offering, you do meditation, you partake pujas and rituals and whatnot. And you are all so very well behaved and what. But when you are in your own personal space, then you fight, you curse, you hate people, you say bad things about people, you do all kinds of bad things, negative things, let's say, yeah. So Asian people have found a very good secret, let's say, where we say, I am Buddhist, I am really Buddhist. I don't know good or not, but I am Buddhist, I am Buddhist practicing, but it is okay, is acceptable. I don't practice the Dhamma much. That's the monk and lama, rinpoche, nun's job. Our job is to pray and to make offerings. So I feel that is a big misunderstanding. You see, during the time of the Buddha, what did Buddha do? We must mind ourselves very carefully. I do not wish to reminiscence the past. I don't want to be like some person, sentimental person, saying, oh my God, do you remember the old good days? That doesn't matter. What I wish to remind you is the time of the Buddha, he made sure everybody is a part of the Buddhism. Everybody is the part of the Dhamma. Everybody has a role to play in this. Everybody matters. Everybody practicing the Dhamma matters. Not just the monk, not just the bhikkhu, not just the the nuns and everybody. Everybody's responsibility to practice the Dhamma properly. Now, sadly, here comes Tibetan Buddhism, and I know I take full responsibility for this. I am very sure many Tibetan lamas, Rinpoche and all that will be very upset with me. So I must say, due all respect, I am sorry. I don't mean to be rude to them, But it is our fault. The Tibetan Lama, you know why? Because what do the Tibetan Lamas first when they come to places like Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, Hong Kong, China, we must do Zambala Puja. We must do a lot of fire puja. Yeah? We must do a lot of Sang Puja. We must do a lot of powerful Mahakala Puja. That make everybody feel like, oh my God, we are doing something. Basically, what we are trying to tell you is we want to fool you and get as much money as we can. But we don't want you to know that. We don't want you to know that. We don't want you to point your finger at me and us and say, oh my God, you Tibetan Lamas are so bad. You're robbing us with money. We are not robbing you as money. Did we rob you money? We don't rob your money. We do not put a gun on your head saying, hey, no. We did not say, oh, you give me money or else you go to hell. Of course not. We did not say the Mahakala will eat you alive if you don't give me money. Of course not. We just said, we will provide you with pujas. You just provide with us any amount of offering. It is acceptable. Yeah. Okay? So this is how the situation happened, So you see, very grateful. You see, to my late father, always continuously reminding me, okay? I know many of you have close encounter, very close connection with Rinpoche, you will know. My late father Rinpoche, continuously to me, he reminded me with one point. When you practice Buddhism, you wish to be taught, nurtured in the best, genuine way in Buddhism. That's the same thing you must conduct when you give Dharma teaching to people. Do not look at people and think, oh, this is all my benefit. Look at them and say, I am not the best Buddhist practitioner. I have not reached the highest level, but may I do my best. I have the Buddha, the Shri, my Guru, the Taka, Dakini, Vajrayogini,
and the Mahakala all surrounding me as a witness to make sure I do right, my motivation is right, my body, speech, mind is right today. At this gathering of the Dhamma,